You will never be allowed to visit any of these magical places. Feel excluded? Me too. From yearly frat parties with government leaders to massive Mormon archives the church keeps tightly hidden away, except for a small part that contains information they've mysteriously been collecting on everyone in the world, to a place that has the most mysterious of reasons to continue operating even today, yet getting close to it will cause you immediate death. These are the top 10 most secret places you will never be allowed to visit. Number 10. Room 39. It's believed to be a $5 billion government organization dedicated to criminal activities such as meth and heroin production, counterfeiting, fraud, weapons smuggling, and human trafficking. This secretive office is thought to be located in Pyongyang, I can't say their capital city's name, near the residence of Kim Jong-un, supreme leader of North Korea, as everyone knows. The extreme isolation of the country as a whole, combined with the iron-fisted security of Kim's family dynasty, ensures that no one really knows this covert bureau's true purpose. Number 9. Bohemian Grove. Every summer for about 150 years, this secretive California campground hosts a gathering of the most powerful men in the world, including Republican Presidents Richard Nixon and Herbert Hoover, who was among the first senior members known as the Old Guard. No women are allowed. The Bohemian pagan-themed entertainment has been compared to a college frat party and described as having, quote, an all-pervading sense of immaturity. The Elvis impersonators, the pseudo-pagan spooky rituals, the heavy drinking. So it actually sounds pretty fun, but just a little bit creepy. But get this, private meetings at this retreat were directly responsible for arranging the Manhattan Project. That's the project that led to the development of the atomic bomb. Number 8. Ise Grand Shrine. This ancient Shinto shrine is dedicated to Amaterasu, the goddess of the universe, and ancestor of the Japanese imperial family, whom are also responsible for providing the chief priestesses and priests that watch over the site. The inner shrine is said to contain a holy artifact, the sacred mirror of Amaterasu, an ancient symbol of the royal family representing wisdom and honesty. Over the centuries, it's been burned in fires, stolen, and even thrown into the ocean, but somehow it always recovered. It is, however, strictly off-limits to the public, and only the imperial family have seen this actual mirror. So unless you're Japanese royalty watching my YouTube video, and if you are, please comment and let me know. There's basically no chance you're ever gonna get to see this thing. Number 7. The Mormon Church's secret vault. As if they didn't have enough secrets, blasted deep into the side of a granite mountain is a temperature and humidity controlled storage facility containing over 3 billion pages worth of data. For over 100 years, the Church of Latter-day Saints has been meticulously gathering and archiving genealogy records on most Americans. I'm not exactly sure why they do this, but they freely share the information online and give tours of the front of the vault, but the secret chambers deep within the mountain are strictly off limits. The church has a ritual to baptize people as Mormons without their permission, even after they're dead and even buried. And it seems that this is their zealous motive for keeping such detailed records on everyone. Comment if you also feel like this kind of reminds you of the NSA. Number 6. The Vatican Secret Archives. The Vatican Library contains one of the most significant collections of historical writings in the world. But 400 years ago, a secret archive was locked away. It is said to contain 52 miles of shelving. A limited reading list has been disclosed, which really makes you wonder what they really have back there. And qualified scholars may apply for an entry card to the index room, where they may study specific texts retrieved for them by a librarian, but no one else is allowed to access the actual vault, including the Japanese royal family. Number 5. White's Gentlemen's Club. This is the oldest and most exclusive gentlemen's club in England, whose members include royals, aristocrats, politicians, and businessmen, many whose fathers and grandfathers were members before them. The bar never closes, and the club's betting book contains records of ridiculous wagers going back hundreds of years, like 2 lords racing raindrops on a window pane. No women are allowed, but Queen Elizabeth II broke this 300-year-old rule by visiting the club in 1991. She was the only woman to ever do so, and never went back. The rest of us aren't allowed in the door of this zombie club either, but it doesn't really sound that interesting anyways. Okay, maybe it sounds a little bit interesting. Number 4. Moscow Metro Number 2. A secret underground railway system runs deep beneath Moscow, connecting the Kremlin, former KGB offices, and presidential residences to deep underground command posts, a government airport, and also an underground city capable of sheltering 15,000 people from nuclear attack for up to, get this, 30 years. Built during the Cold War era, Soviet leader Joseph Stalin had good reason to be paranoid that he might get nuked at any moment, and so he had this network of tunnels designed deep enough to survive the worst attacks. But officially it doesn't exist, so just forget everything I just said. Number 3. The Bilderberg Group. This annual meeting of the elite intellectuals more often than not includes heads of banks, business, and state rather than scholars. For 60 years, the private meetings have focused on policies in the United States and European Union. A meeting agenda is posted on their website, but no one really knows the closed-door deals that are really being made, since all all attendees are sworn to secrecy. They've been accused of being the kingmakers of the Republican Party, Nazi warmongers, and evil dictators, intent on a new world order run by the banking system. Which sounds kinda scary, probably because using money as a means of control sounds pretty feasible, but getting in to find out is not easy. Number 2. Disneyland's Club 33. If you thought the line in Small World was long, try getting a table at this magical 5-star restaurant where tableside animatronic birds know your name and the bathrooms have real thrones. Discreetly located at 33 Royal Street, above the Blue Bayou in New Orleans Square, a hidden panel conceals a buzzer, but you'd better have a reservation. The waiting list is about 14 years long, and the membership fee is $40,000 plus annual dues. Originally, it was conceived by Walt Disney as a perk to attract investors, but it rapidly became one of America's most exclusive clubs and the only place in Disneyland that serves alcohol. And finally, number 1, Area 51. After all these years, it is still the most mysterious of secret places. Originally established by the CIA for the development of experimental aircraft, the area is permanently off limits both to civilian and normal military air traffic. Who knows what technology is stored and studied deep in the mountain beneath this top-secret U.S. Air Force base. Perhaps it's extraterrestrial in nature, as many believe, or perhaps it's man-made and far beyond even what we could imagine. Take into consideration that in around 1960, which is about 55 years ago, they successfully developed stealth aircraft technology here, and that's not a small achievement. Yet, even during modern times of relative peace, the base is still being used for something. Whatever it is, they really don't want anyone to know though, as the area is surrounded by cameras with infrared and motion sensing capabilities that allow snipers, which also surround the base 24/7, to kill you for even being in range of the perimeter of the base. A friend of mine was actually driving near the area when her and her friend's cell phones both immediately and simultaneously turned off for no reason, only to mysteriously turn back on again sometime later, as if they were being controlled remotely. Officially, they refused to acknowledge that the base even existed for almost 60 years, but unofficially, workers have reported testing alien spacecraft and viruses with the help of a telepathic alien named J-Ro. Stop what you're doing right now! I need to tell you something.